Guys, this is what you can do to take control over yourself again, over your attention, and be in control of where you're putting your energy. It's almost rewarded modern day to be the type of guy that sits on the couch, watches football all day, drinks beer, doesn't go to the gym. If you are that guy, you are not in control of yourself. I'm gonna walk you through a framework to put you back in the driver's seat again, to regain control of your attention, of your health, of your performance, and to be the owner of your performance all over again. By implementing just a couple of these strategies, you're going to notice significant changes in the next 48 to 72 hours. I'm going to walk you through the top protocols that I've developed over the last several years to help hundreds of guys to unlock and achieve their masculine potential. Now, guys, when we walk through this framework, you can see the spine up here of Executive Eros. We're going to be beginning with signal, flow, control, and drive. But the first step here is to recognize the symptoms of overstimulation. These are very common symptoms that you may experience a couple of these or all of these. Feeling unmotivated, a lack of drive, low energy. Feeling brain fog, noticing difficulty focusing, waking up tired. Even if you have a good night of sleep, you wake up in the morning and still feel tired or groggy. Or having a difficult time sleeping. These are all symptoms of overstimulation. Scrolling late at night, that's a huge one for a lot of guys. Cut that shit out. No phone, 60 minutes before bed. Feeling anxiety, feeling anxious. These are signs of overstimulation. Feeling like you're on the edge of a panic attack. Or even low libido, low drive, difficulty achieving or sustaining an erection. These are signs of overstimulation. An afternoon crash where we have to constantly be fueling up on caffeine, energy drinks, coffee. And then finally, the biggest one is feeling unfulfilled in life. We live in a world where we're constantly competing with other people. We're being told that you need to have the best, next new thing, the newest iPhone. You need to have the best clothes, the next best car, all of these things. Constantly feeling like that's gonna fill you up, when in reality, it's coming from within. And this is a big problem for a lot of guys that overeat, is that overeating fills them up to give them that feeling as if they're full and as if they're fulfilled. But in reality, it's just a hormone spike that causes them to spiral down afterwards. So we're constantly looking for something that's going to fill us up, something that's going to make us feel fulfilled. And it all comes down to this result of being overstimulated. So the first step, the first pillar, the first protocol in Executive Eros is the elimination protocol. And this is where we talk about reducing the noise and increasing the signal. We need to reduce the noise. And the noise is drugs, porn, alcohol, scrolling, constantly being addicted to video games, social media. These things are causing your brain to be in this cycle of stimulation, bright lights, colors, constantly getting these hits of dopamine. And what that does is that makes these symptoms come about because you can't get a hit of dopamine using natural everyday things you would typically get. When you do this reset, there's a 72-hour period that it can take for you to get back to baseline. And this I liken to ejaculation. As soon as you ejaculate, there's a 3-day period, a 72-hour period where there's going to be a dip in the sensitivity of your androgen receptors. Your testosterone is going to be down, your prolactin is going to go up, and it's going to take you 72 hours to get back to baseline. When many guys implement this strategy by eliminating these things, cutting out the noise, this is going to bring you back up to a baseline within 72 hours. You're going to feel more clear-headed, more energy, motivation, more grounded, more as if you have this masculine energy, rather than feeling like you're being sapped of all this energy and constantly overstimulated and feeling like you're drained and can't happen to get motivated for life anymore. So first step here is to reduce the noise, to increase the signal. And when we do this, this increases the right signal. And this is where you're going to notice yourself starting to have morning erections again. I like to use something called the morning wood index from 0 to 3. 0 means you don't get any erections. 3 means you're getting an erection every day of the week. You're going to notice by implementing these strategies that your morning wood index is going to start to increase. Doing this for A 3-day, a 72-hour reset is the first step in getting yourself cleared out, doing a miniature dopamine detox, and then getting yourself back on track. Practicing this for 30 days is going to compound. So you'll notice after 3 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, these results compound over time. If you practice these strategies for years, you're going to notice yourself feeling like you're almost aging backwards, that you're more clear-headed, that you're performing better, that you feel better. And you're gonna notice that the people around you start to age, their physical health deteriorates, they might seem like they're losing their mind a bit, but you being consistent is going to compound this over time and help you to unlock that masculine potential that we talk about. So your first step is to cut the noise, increase the signal. Once we've done that, we want to focus on blood flow. And blood flow is far more important than just getting an erection and sustaining an erection. Blood flow is critically important for building muscle. It's important for your brain, for you to think clearly, for you to be able to perform in the bedroom from a cardiovascular standpoint. Many guys are so unfit that even if they get and sustain an erection, they can't even change positions or move too much in the bedroom. Otherwise, the blood's going to go to their muscles and they're going to lose an erection. Whereas some guys, if you use these strategies, if you optimize your blood flow, you train yourself, you're going to have the ability to achieve a strong, hard, powerful erection and maintain that while you're changing positions. Hell, you can do that while being inside of your woman and carrying her across the room, or doing all kinds of other creative activities you can come up with. So you have this area where guys may have difficulty even getting an erection while laying in bed, where other guys can sustain an erection while up walking around and carrying another person. So blood flow, this is coming down to hydraulics. We want to optimize the hydraulics rather than focusing on the heroics of just trying to do more, grip harder, clench harder, and try to force things. That doesn't work when it comes to an erection. With erections, it's all about pressure and your pipes. The pressure, this is the vasodilation of your vessels. When you're relaxed, your nervous system goes into more of a parasympathetic state. That's what causes the vasodilation of the erectile tissue. And this is through the release of nitric oxide. So we have pressure in the pipes that regulates the blood flow to that area. If you have narrow pipes or weak pipes, you're not going to get blood flowing through that area. It's going to be weak flow, or it's going to be just a dribble, and you're not even going to get a strong, hard erection. Then you have the pipes themselves. Now we talk about the pipes. I want to talk about the actual structural integrity of these vessels, because the pipes are your arteries, your veins, your vessels. You need to have endothelial tissue, and that's the tissue that composes your vessels. You need to have strong endothelial tissue that's going to be able to withstand the pressure being pushed by the fluid, by your blood. So having strong vessels, and within Executive Eros, we have the Executive Elixir formula. And in this formula, it gives you all of the ingredients to help optimize natural vasodilation, nitric oxide, to give you a supplement cocktail that's going to help you to get a strong, hard erection. And it also includes cofactors, ingredients that are going to help build strong vessels. Because these vessels, they need cofactors. They need compounds that are going to build the actual structural framework that the vessels are made out of. And that's what we focus on when it comes to the blood flow aspect of it. And again, it's not just erections that we're talking about. We're talking about building muscle. We're talking about cognitive performance, focus, clear thinking. All of these things depend on blood flow. Your brain depends on blood flow. Next, we talk about control. And when we talk about control, we're going to talk about the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor, think of that as if it's your valve. You contract and you can tighten that valve, and you can relax and you can open that valve. If you have a pelvic floor that is weak, you'll leak or you'll fade. You'll have a difficult time even getting an erection. If you have a pelvic floor that's tight, it's going to clamp, it's going to choke off the blood flow to that area, and you're going to have a hard time getting blood flow into the penis. So we want to be able to control the relaxation and the contraction of your pelvic floor. And this is what I talk about in the Power Pelvis Protocol. And in the protocol within Executive Eros, I talk about the pelvic floor training and how we want to use the contraction, the relaxation, and integrate this with the breathing. We talk about breathing into the balls and how the breathing is a key component in circulating the sexual energy. When you circulate the sexual energy, this puts you in control when you're in the bedroom. This helps you stay grounded in difficult situations. When you can breathe deep into the belly, into the balls, this is going to help to keep you grounded. When you implement this into the bedroom, you can circulate that energy, and this unlocks another level of performance where you can last as long as you want. And this puts you in control of deciding at what point you're going to ejaculate, go over the edge, and be done. By implementing these strategies, this makes you a beast in the bedroom because you are in complete control of your erection. And this is a powerful tool that so many women never get to experience, where they don't have a man that can use these tools, that can last this long, that understands his physiology and her physiology. So when you implement these techniques and circulate the energy, this allows you to give your woman multiple rounds of orgasms. So think about that, guys. It's not just about you getting an erection. It's about you creating an experience that's going to keep this woman coming back again and again for more and more. This sets you apart from all of the other guys out there who think they can do okay, or they're mediocre or good enough. Instead of being just an average dude, this puts you at the upper echelon of what's possible when it comes to the bedroom. Outside of the bedroom, this helps you to be a better man when it comes to business, when it comes to relating with other people, difficult situations, and being a leader, because you're able to stay grounded and be in control of your energy during difficult situations. If there's an emergency situation, you witness a car wreck, you need to get out and save somebody that's in critical condition, well, you can do that and be the guy that can be the leader and step up and be in control of your physiology to be able to rise up in these situations. So all of this extends beyond the bedroom. This is truly unlocking your full masculine potential as a man. This is what gives you the control, gives you the power to be a force to be reckoned with. And then we get to the drive aspect of this. And the drive, think of this as feeding the furnace. This is feeding your desire, your energy, your drive. All of this comes down to what I like to think of as the testosterone protocol and the nutrition protocol. We talk about how to optimize testosterone with the 7 strategies that I use to increase my testosterone by 400% naturally. Well, this protocol within Eros takes it a step further, because we have more data over the last couple of years of how to optimize testosterone at the next level. So using things like nutrition, our sleep, with our training, we really want to focus on exertional activities, intensity, putting out effort. This is what's key when it comes to training for testosterone. So many guys waste their time doing low intensity, high volume exercises or single joint movements where they're focusing on their biceps or they're focusing on their triceps or leg extensions. And these don't actually put out enough effort or recruit enough muscles that are going to stimulate testosterone. So that's one of the pitfalls that a lot of guys fall into when it comes to training for testosterone or just training in general. We talk about nutrition, and the best thing, or the biggest thing that guys can do for their nutrition is to get to 10 to 12% body fat. If you're over 15, 20% body fat, the biggest number one thing that you can do to increase your testosterone, to increase your attractiveness, to increase everything in life and how people respect you and take you seriously, the number one thing that you can do is to get down to 10 to 12% body fat. That's going to help you and be the biggest mover with so many of these things. Guys, this is what you can do to take control over yourself again, over your attention, and be in control of where you're putting your energy. Implementing these strategies, implementing this framework Practicing these protocols puts you in the driver's seat again. So guys, if you want to get access to Executive Eros, right now it's exclusive to my email newsletter, and you can get that for 50% off for just the next week. You can still subscribe to my email newsletter with the link in the description below. You can also find my other resources, the free testosterone optimization course, the free guide to semen retention, and even more in the link in the descriptions below. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video.